Hey everybody, it's Friday night and I am doing Utica Greens with my mom tonight. And Utica Greens, I'm going to let her tell you what exactly they are. So this is a treat for me because I haven't done this in a while.
The Utica Greens is a special recipe for rapinis. And they're made basically in Utica, New York, but now there's a restaurant, Delmonico's, now in Orlando, Florida.
Yes, and they have the Utica Greens, which are amazing.
Yes, which they are amazing.
So what my mom did was she started them. By the way, this is my mom, Janet. And
hello.
Yes, and she's the one that I've been telling you about that just had the knee surgery. She's doing amazing with it. But anyway, I thought it'd be fun to cook with her tonight. So that's what we're doing. We're cooking together tonight. And I'm going to let her talk to you real quick about what she did initially this morning while I fix the camera, which is...
Yes, when you start off with the rapini or any greens, but basically I do them with the rapini. Sometimes other people would do it escarole, but we like the rapini recipe better. And you start off, of course, by soaking the greens, cutting them up, soaking them, getting the hard stems off. And then in a large pot, you saute garlic and olive oil, and you saute the greens, and they only take about a half hour. They cook very quickly and easily. And then when we're ready to do the finished product, which we do it in a baking pan, Debbie's going to explain those ingredients to you. They're not hard to do once it's cooked, and really I think they cooked like at the most 35 to 40 minutes. Yeah.
So we're going to show you how we go about doing this in a smaller version because of course we already have some in the oven, but this is what they look like when they're done, cooked with just the garlic, Mom, and a little bit of olive oil. So I'm going to put these into...
and salt to taste.
And salt to taste. I'm going to put these in the pan, and usually there's a little more to cover the whole bottom of the pan, but we don't have that many here. And what I did this time actually was I also sauteed a little extra garlic to give a little more oomph and a little more crispiness. I did a crisp up some garlic and I'm putting that in there. And then, Mom, what do we do next?
Now what we do next is the breadcrumbs.
Okay. Remember, gluten-free, so we've got gluten-free seasoned breadcrumbs.
Right. Or if you don't want the gluten-free, you can use the regular breadcrumbs.
Right,
but of course, we like the gluten-free.
So how much do we put?
Well, basically, in a small amount like this, you only need like a half a cup.
Okay, so we would do a half a cup, and this is my measuring a half a cup.
Because it's a small amount.
Small amount. So you mix that up, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and then what do we do?
And then you put the Parmesan or Romano cheese.
Ooh, the Parmesan.
And that is the best. That's what gives it that special taste.
That special taste. Oh, and what about the
cherry
peppers?
Yeah.
The cherry peppers.
Now the cherry peppers too, we have to explain.
Cherry peppers. Go ahead, Emil.
What we do is you can use sweet or hot. We use the sweet mild ones. And what you do is you take the cherry peppers out of the jar, and then you take out the seeds, and then you can cut, depending on the size of the cherry pepper.
These are small.
Yeah, if they're real small, you don't have to cut them. But if they're not real small, you can cut them in half and get as many of the seeds out as you can.
Look,
mix it all in with the greens.
We've got friends. Nancy's online. You can say hi, Nancy. Nancy, who is online?
Hi, Nance.
And then my friend Ellen is online.
Oh, great.
So anyway, I'm her worker bee today because she's doing the directions and I'm just doing what she tells me to do. So I'm cutting up the cherry peppers, kind of smaller, and like you said, you don't need a lot. Usually, how much do you put in for a full size amount?
For a full size amount, like the pan we're going to show them the finished product,
right?
I use a half of the. What size is this?
This is a 16 ounce.
I use half the jar in a full size batch of the cherry peppers cut up.
Okay. All right. So half a jar, and we just put a couple in here, which kind of equates to what you would be using when we show them the pan and how much is in the pan. So we're gonna go ahead. So this is what you do, and what you would be doing is putting this in the oven at what degrees, Mom?
$3.55.
$3.55 for about how many?
It really doesn't take long at all. Maybe 20 minutes. You really have to watch it.
Okay.
Because don't forget, everything's already cooked. So what you're basically doing is just putting it in the oven to dry it out, so to speak, and give it that special flavor as it's cooking in the oven.
Okay, and then when we're done, this is the finished product.
Did you put the Parmesan? Did you put the cheese in?
I did. I put the
Okay.
cheese in. This is the finished product, right?
Yeah.
Careful, it's hot. This is the finished product. So you see here, this is how big of a tin that we have that we put them in, and we just covered the bottom just a little bit. So you've got like an inch of greens in here, and we have all of, doesn't that look delicious? Can you see it? That looks just so good. And that is Utica Greens. And that is what we grew up on. And I remember when my grandmother, Sermonaro, would make those, because Grandma Sterling, I don't think ever made them. I think
Grandma Sterling didn't. Grandma Sermonaro did.
Right. And so my mom, my earliest memory of cooking with her was, I remember, I have this
Grandma
like vivid,
Sermonaro?
with you.
Oh, with
this
me.
vivid memory was actually baking.
Oh,
and
yes.
I don't know how old I was, and it was sugar cookies in the kitchen on Steuben Street.
On
I don't
Steuben
know why
Street.
that's
So
the
you
one.
had to be around 7,
No, I was
6,
much younger.
no, 5.
Yeah, or younger.
5.
Right.
No,
And then I remember too that she would always buy the Evie's on. Hey, I can't reach over there, but Evie's on. So I remember you used to buy the blocks of Parmesan cheese, and I grate it at the table, and I would sit there just waiting for a little chunk of it. And Mom would, of course, always give us a chunk of it.
Yeah.
But so that's the Utica Greens. Let me put some in a dish so you all can see what those look like. If I can find a dish. We've got them here somewhere.
Yeah.
Here we go.
And don't forget, in that pan right there is 4 bunches of rapinas.
Oh, good. Okay, so
That's
in
how
this
they
pan,
shrink.
This is so they shrink like spinach then.
Yes.
So this is look right, Aunt Jan. That's what that's what Evelyn just said. Look right, Aunt Jan.
Thank
So
you.
this is what we've got for our Utica Greens. Bon appetit. You all have a great evening. That's cooking with Utica Greens with my mom.
And don't forget, when you talk about Utica Greens, we don't have the Utica Italian bread here, but that's what it's really good with.
Ooh, really good. Thanks, everybody. Have a great night.
Bye.